to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters in different countries, in different continents, in different time zones, in different conditions. So, green morning, green afternoon, and green evening to everybody. It's indeed a great pleasure. We all are joining today on 30th of December, just one day away to complete this 2020. My God, nobody would like to remember this year. And let's get into 2021 with the positivity, creativity, and collaborative, whatever best we can do. Because 2020 had been very, very painful world over for everybody. So many difficulties and so many troubles and so many problems it has come. But however, out of every difficulty emerges new opportunities as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we will be talking about something how improving learning outcomes. That is from the new education policy 2020. We have got two of the distinguished guests, Mr. Shamsuddin. He is the principal from Farooq Engineering Medium Higher Secondary School, that is in Kerala. And then Madam Ganga Natarajan, principal, Sun Academy. She is at Chennai, and we extend a very hearty welcome to both of them as a part of making education relevant journey. We have come a long way. Today is 515th webinar during this lockdown, during this pandemic, which is making basically to make the education relevant and teachers and youth empowerment. Our chamber basically deals with the NRIs, non-resident Indians. There are approximately 31 million Indians abroad at present in different countries and different continents. And in the entire ecosystem, we have got a synergy and right initially confluence of the NRIs, and then from 2003, Bharti Parvasi Divas. And during this pandemic, doctors, nurses, paramedical people, they have done great job, great warriors. But our teachers, our educators, our trainers, our counselors, our technocrats, our principals, they are also great warriors because they kept the education going on in spite of all difficulties, all problems, whatever we have gone through. They are the one, those kept it going, kept it going, kept it going, and then the new education policy also came. Flip Learn Develal, ma'am, she is very dynamic woman, very, very creative woman. She's doing a great job, and her entire team. Our chamber organizes almost 26 webinars every week. So you can well imagine how vibrant the chamber is. We start early in the morning with Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji. Then we come to ASEAN, that is Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, then we go to Mongolia, then we go to South Korea, then we go to Taiwan, then we go to Hong Kong. From there we take a turn and we come to Middle East, right from Saudi Arabia, then we go to Doha, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Dubai, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, and then we take a turn and we go to Central Asia, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, and then we come to South Asia, Afghanistan, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives, India, and then thereafter we go to European Union, all the countries in the Europe, and then finally we land up in the evening, the last program, that is United States, Latin America, and Canada. So ladies and gentlemen, you can well imagine over here, every aspect of the education is being taken care of by our chamber, and we are working very, very innovatively. Education, where you have got the corporate interaction also, your health and wellness also, your MSME also, and now the new education policy is bringing a lot of good things. Immediately after this program, we are having a Thanksgiving ceremony to Tata Consultancy Services because they came in a very big way, and we are going ahead in future also with them. We are starting a new series with Tata because we want every child to be helped, every institution to be helped. We are helping at present schools, colleges, universities for taping lab, adult taping lab, incubation centers, then finishing labs. That also we are working very innovatively. And here is Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council of Government of India. Every evening at 5 o'clock, we have got a program with them where you have got radio, television, theater, music, films, animation, artificial intelligence, augmented reality. Because children want fun. Children want education to be entertaining. Gamification also we have brought over here and we have taken up with them very seriously that let's write to all the gaming companies that they should build only positive games, constructive games, innovative games, creative games. That is something very, very important. So this evening, 5:30, we have got a special program with Media Entertainment Skill Council and all the dignitaries. They are coming. Tomorrow, again, there is a very important program at 12:30. Before we enter to the new year, tomorrow at 12:30 to 1:30, we will be talking for 1 hour. What is going to be the future roadmap for education? How education will shape up, whether school education or higher education or technical education, vocational education. When we talk about skills, when we talk about competencies, when we talk about capabilities, and children, how they will be prepared as a startup, entrepreneurs, everything. Tomorrow we are going to discuss before we roll over to 2021. That is at 12:30 live on the YouTube GS Motivator. This is what is the research by our chamber during this pandemic. Basic food, basic health, and basic education are the important buzzwords. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together, all of us, on this journey. Let's make education relevant. Our website is given over here. Should you wish to come as a panelist or send any suggestion, our email ID is here. If you want to contact us on the WhatsApp, that is, the number is also given over here. Let's come together and let's make education relevant, which is basically the base. So this evening, let me extend a very warm welcome to two of my dignitaries. Namaskar, hearty welcome to have both of you with us this evening. It's a pleasure. We have got Tamil Nadu and Kerala with us. Imagine they are very hardworking people. On 30th of December also they are with us. That is called commitment and that is called empowering education ecosystem. So ladies and gentlemen, today when we talk about new education policy, our focus is going to be on improving learning outcomes. That means how do we improve whatever, of course, children are learning, children are getting education. Now it is no more teaching centric, it's all learning centric. The swaroop of the education totally has got changed. It's no more classroom learning, it's a flipped learning, it's a digital learning, it's a blended learning, it's an outside classroom learning, it's innovative learning, it's technology-based learning, anything you want to say. So, how do we improve the learning outcomes? So, I first request Madam Ganga Natarajan to speak for 5-6 minutes and she can share her vision, her process, whatever she thinks about it. And then initially, I would request Madam first to tell about her school. It is up to what standard and how many students are here, where are you located, so that we all can have a mental appreciation and a mental trip to your school and we can travel. And thereafter, we will go to Shamsuddin ji and we would request him. And all the participants, those are joining us, come on the GS Motivator, come on the YouTube, and we would like you should also take active part. I will give one question after 5 minutes, and depending on, please do write your school name also, because first competition is whether Shamsuddin ji's school children or teachers are coming more on YouTube, or it is Madam Ganga. Whosoever brings more student and teacher and shows their strength, because it's a rope pulling, it's a both side. So whosoever has got more students, whosoever has got more teachers coming, write your school name. First 1,000 rupees will go on 30th of December to that school. So it's a very easy competition. It's not a tough competition because every day we have been getting 5 principals and competition. Very tough competition. Today it's a very easy competition. We'll just count numbers and we'll go ahead. With these words, Madam Ganga Natarajan.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. inviting me for this wonderful show. First of all, vanakkam to everyone from Ganga Natarajan from Singara, Chennai. So we say it is Singara, Chennai, beautiful Chennai. So I'm principal of San Academy, Kamakoti Nagar. We are group of schools, an academy group of schools, and I head one of those branches. We have about 1,300 students in my school, ranging from nursery till class 11. So this year is our first batch of class 10, and we will be marching towards class 11 in the next academic year. So this is the background of my school. It's a CBSE school and a co-ed school. And we focus on holistic development of a child. So in our curriculum is balanced, both scholastic as well as co-scholastic. We give equal importance to both. In fact, we always say that, children are engaged in a lot of activities, whether it is scholastic or co-scholastic, and they enjoy coming to school. The motto of our school is to keep children happy. So we want happy children in our school. So children come to school happy and go from school happy in the evening. So that is what we aim at. So anything we do in San Academy is for children. Our focus is on children. So now moving towards the topic. Um, First of all, I thank organizers of ICSI and FlipLearn for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be a part of this panel discussion today. So we are here today aiming at achieving the vision of NEP 2020, outcome-based learning. So NEP 2020 helps the schools to take a giant leap forward by reconfiguring the classes into key stages. So beautifully designed, the stages of the classes beautifully designed. And these stages, purely curricular and pedagogical in nature, are aimed at optimizing learning. The reconfiguration of stages is more logical than the previous division in view of the development and learning needs of the students. The key thrust behind this curricular and pedagogical restructuring across all stages is to move away from the traditional rote learning method and learn for real understanding and learning how to learn. So it gives equal importance to all the stages of schooling by customizing each with age appropriate curriculum, learning goals, and pedagogy. For schools and teachers, this division is more practical and workable, facilitating child centered lesson planning based on the pedagogical recommended for each stage by the NEP. The provisions of pedagogical and curricular restructuring are explained very clearly to help schools understand how this will enable them to manage the current learning challenges faced by their learners and the positive impact this reorganization will have on the teaching learning process and the learner achievement. So according to me, learning outcomes are like a navigation tool, just like the GPS which we have. So once the destination is fed to the GPS device, it guides the driver throughout the journey and ensures that the driver reaches the destination correctly without any fear of losing the way. Even if the driver takes a wrong route, the GPS again guides him and the driver rejoins the route and leads to the intended destination. This is what I feel is learning outcome is. So learning outcome are guiding tools which guide the students to the desired results of the planned course. They also show and help the teachers the path to be followed and make the students aware of what they will be able to achieve at the end of the course. Learning outcomes need to be very specific and measurable. So we cannot just, out of the box write something which is not achievable. So it should be specific and measurable. So they're generally written based on the Bloom's taxonomy. So Bloom's taxonomy explains the process of learning and hence has proved to be a powerful tool to help developing learning outcomes. So the concept of Bloom's taxonomy is very, very simple. So the cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy consists of 6 hierarchical levels of learning. While we as educators strive for students to reach the highest levels of learning at the top of the pyramid, All levels of learning depend on a solid foundation of those that come below. For example, like, we start with remembering. So the first stage of Bloom's taxonomy in the pyramid is the remembering. So recalling the relevant knowledge from long-term memory. So every child has a base memory. So we try to recall that memory and then that is where the foundation is laid. Understanding. So making sense of what they are learning is very, very important when we talk about the learning outcome. Because unless the child understands the purpose of learning something, the learning does not happen. Applying the knowledge. So use the knowledge gained in different ways. So this is very, very important. Many times, this is where we lose focus. So the child remembers, understands, but does not know where to apply this knowledge. So the learning outcome should be very, very clear as to where this knowledge is going to be applied by the child. Analyzing, breaking the concept into parts, understand how each part is relevant to one another, the connectivity, and then probably the child will be able to apply it better in life. Evaluating, making judgments based on a set of guidelines. So he knows, yeah, so going further, how this will move. So the child knows to evaluate maybe the knowledge or where he is applying. He will be able to understand whether he has applied it at the right place. Then creativity comes, where putting this information together in a very innovative way. So this is beautifully put across, and all lesson plans made by teachers are based on Bloom's taxonomy. So if the learning outcomes are very clear, students understand beforehand what they are going to learn from a lesson. Well-defined learning outcomes remove the risk of wasting time. So the National Education Policy is clearly emphasized on learning outcomes for school students. Instead of the half-yearly annual exams alone, students will now have regular assessments. To make the assessment and the tracking of teaching learning outcomes very transparent, a new National Assessment Center, PARAK, PARAKH, Performance, Assessment, Review, Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development is what will be set up as a standard setting body. So according to the NEP, the assessment will be more focused on testing higher order thinking skills, such as analysis, critical thinking, and concept clarity. So introduction of progress card in the NEP will also ensure active participation of engaging in co-curricular and also extracurricular activities. So the progress report card will have all assessments, including self, teachers, peers, all put together to really understand the strengths of a child. Such cards will also act as a progress meter for students that will reflect their potential and progress in the social, economic, cognitive, and psychomotor skills. Active participation of the learner in debates, quizzes, sports, role plays, portfolios, and group activities are also being a part of this assessment. The above process will not only enhance the student-teacher relationship at a personal level, but also will involve an acknowledgement of the child's parents. Parents will have equal role to play in this kind of an assessment. Proper software will be developed to keep the whole record of the student's curriculum, which will also allow him to opt for a suitable career. So the child knows his strengths and he knows where he will shine. The parents will know in which area the child is interested and where his potential lies. So accordingly, they will help the child to take up that career. So the medium of education till grade 5 will not only be the home language, the mother tongue, or any other local language. So the introduction of various languages also helps child to understand the concepts better, understand the curriculum better. So in my view, I think to arrive at an effective learning outcome statement, I will say, an effective set of learning outcome statement informs and guides both the teacher and the student. So if you look at the teacher, she's informed about the content of teaching, the teaching strategies which she will use to deliver the content, the learning activities or the activities which are suitable to teach that particular content, appropriate assessment tools, and evaluation. So these are the guidelines which a teacher will have a very clear understanding when she has clear learning outcomes in front of her. On the other side, for the student, The set of learning outcomes will provide a solid framework to guide their studies, assist them to prepare for their assessments, and the point of articulation with graduate attributes at course and universities at a generic level. So I think that will be clear understanding for both the teacher and the student. So learning outcome also identifies a range of knowledge. So it's not just putting it in paper. We need to know where this learning outcome is going to be applied by the child, where this knowledge is going to be applied. So when we look at it, like declarative knowledge, that is knowing about the content, the knowledge base, then procedural knowledge, how to do things. You know how to do with this knowledge in hand, how to do things. Conditional knowledge, when to do these things. You have a knowledge, you know where to apply, when to apply also. Is also very, very important because we need to teach them life skills. So they cannot be just, be just open to the world. So they need to know proper life skills. Then comes the functional knowledge, where how to employ the first three types of knowledge to solve problems and be an effective professional. So when it comes to the teacher, when she is setting the learning outcomes, the things which a teacher keeps in mind is she understands how the learners grow and develop, recognize the patterns of learning development of various individuals across the classes, because we also talk about the different intelligences. So the cognitive, linguistic, social, emotional, physical. So based on the intelligences, the teacher plans the learning outcomes. And there is a challenge because she's teaching different individuals from different cultures, different communities. So the learning outcome has to cater to the learning differences. Learning environment. The teacher also works on creating environment that supports the individual and collaborative learning. Then the content knowledge, the teacher also understands the central concept, the tools of inquiry, the structures of discipline, and the discipline accessible and meaningful for learners. Then application of the content, the teacher understands how to connect concepts with various perspectives, also with day-to-day life. Only then the child will be able to apply these in future. Assessment, the teacher also understands, uses simple or multiple methods of assessment to engage children in their growth, monitor their progress, guide the learners, and also help in decision making. Planning for instruction, teacher also plans the instruction that supports every student in meeting rigorous learning goals, because the same strategy does not work with every child in the class. So she follows different methodologies, but the learning outcome is one, whereas the way to reach this learning outcome may be different. Then coming to professional learning and ethical practice, the teacher engages on ongoing professional learning. She herself, keeps updating herself. Like in our school, we provide a lot of opportunities for teachers to attend webinars such with esteemed speakers, and also on these, the goals and the learning outcomes. So we give them a lot of opportunities. So learning happens continuously, professional development happens continuously. Leadership and collaboration. The teacher also seeks appropriate leadership roles and opportunities to take responsibilities for students' learning, to collaborate with learners, families, colleagues, and other professionals. So we have been sharing views regarding the NEP at various platforms on various attributes given in NEP. And the very big challenge in front of us at this point of time is the implementation of this vision, which is given in the NEP, because that is where, uh, everything lies. If implementation is going to be done at its best and the right way, I'm sure, and with a positive note from all the stakeholders, we will definitely be able to achieve all these set standards given in the NEP 2020. So I once again thank everyone here for the patient listening and for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts on the learning outcomes.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. It was very elaborative. It was very detailed one. And you tried to touch almost all aspects of improving learning outcomes. I'm pretty sure Flip Learn is helping your school quite a bit, and they're giving you, because Devalal ma'am herself is very dynamic and very, very innovative woman. Whenever she has come on our platform in various conferences and all, always we found something innovative coming with her. With these words, I would request Shamsuddin ji from Kerala to kindly share his thought process with all of you. And by that time, you share vision with us. Ganga ma'am will tell her all teachers and students and everybody to join us. Okay, Shamsuddin ji.
Yeah, Sharma ji, namaskar. It's my pleasure to join with you. I really appreciate Ganga Natarajan, Ms. Ganga Natarajan, for giving an elaborate picture about NEP and also its implementation in the classroom situations. I really appreciate it because you have touched all the realms of education and classroom processes and its relevance the relevance of NEP in this whole area. I appreciate you. My dear brothers and sisters all over the world, those who are watching us, namaskar to all of you. Myself, I am Shamsuddin Kunnabat, located at Malappuram district in Kerala. And I have been in this field of education for the last 25 years, fortunately 12 years out of India and balance in India. Now I'm the academic director for Al Farouk institutions at Kottakkal and senior principal for the school. And two, I direct, academically to some other institutions too. It's my pleasure to introduce myself. Really, all the aspects of NEP and its classroom relevance, teachers' role, and everything is well defined by or well explained by Ganga Natarajan. See, my concern, I would like to divert towards, the particular point, as she said, we too care about it, that is holistic education. How far our education system is touching the souls of our children, actually. That's more important. Now, in conveying knowledge as an energy, to our learners, that is what more important, where our new generation, they'll get more interested in learning. This is more relevant. And when we are, evaluating or we are assessing these learning processes. About learning processes and content, we said, my concern is about a structural issue of education. Because when we consider any system, a system is based on something and a system is driven by something. So that is what both this area, our system, our NEP is well framed on all these aspects. But still, when we come to the classroom situation, it is information based now. When the education is information based, it cannot be complete. It cannot be complete because there the teaching will become a process of transmission by the teacher. And that is also quite wrong, what I feel. So we need a structural change that from this information-based education, transmission-driven education to character-based and transformation-driven education. This is what I feel from my inner reading of NEP. I understand we need this change because we always cry on this aspect that we were focused on wisdom. From wisdom, we moved to knowledge. From knowledge, we moved to information. And information, we are again moving to the micro level. And what happens actually, the real problem of this new generation, what I feel is that the gap in between values and practice. The gap in between values and practice. Actually, many occasions I had to face with this question. They say that if I am asked to advise someone, I can advise very well. If someone is advising me, they are advising me very well. But nobody is living the life of that advice. Why? Then they are asking this question, why there is gap in between values and practice. And this is because of this structural problem. We need it to be corrected. Then learning and teaching will become very interesting and the learner will have that curiosity to learn also. A sort of monotony we are feeling in this process because this has become an what you call enforced on the child that you must learn. When something is forced, because people long for freedom everywhere. We long for freedom everywhere. When they are said that you must learn so, then they will be reluctant to do that. So we should make it more comfortable, more acceptable and considerable too. Even though we are talking about child-centered learning and all, but when I go and do assessment in classrooms, I don't feel it more time, because they do start sometimes like that. Later on, the teacher will become the big thing in the classroom, and it becomes so. So that is what the truth is. So actually, we need what I suggested, the state ministry also, that we need strategical change in the syllabus of teachers training too, because we are applying. So we need the changes in teachers training as per the changes in our education policy. It should be all connected with, and should think about the pleasure of the child, that the institution will be capable of working out the right human beings from the institution. Right human beings from the institution. We have to see the comforts of our teachers and the collaboration of our teachers. All these aspects should be considered. So I will stick on that point, in education which touch all the possessions of the child, the body, mind, soul, and the consciousness of the child. All these areas. Simply just receiving the knowledge or information and just keeping it in memory and releasing out in examination. Sometimes the academic result will be good, but human being may not be that good. So I'm sorry, I must say that I'm going to the philosophy is what I'm thinking, rather than that you may sometimes think it's like that it's not relevant with this topic. No, it's all relevant. It's all relevant, definitely, because about this NEP and all, what I wanted to say in the classroom, it's already well said by Ms. Venka Natarajan ma'am. So when I got this information about attending this program, I was thinking about all these things, but you said it, and there is no need of repeating those things. That's why I moved towards this direction. I still, point at this, that education should be based on character and driven by transformation. No doubt, it should be driven by transformation. Then only it can be completely holistic, and it can help to bring out the right human being. That will be the solution for the problems what we are now seeing everywhere in the world. Thank you. I appreciate the effort, and it's a good experience for me being with you and sharing with you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Namaskar. Wish you both a great year ahead. Keep working, keep doing good job with Flip Learn. They are doing great job. They are doing hand holding. Make optimum use of their resources for your institution, and look forward having your teachers and your students on some other occasion